Putram Atra Surupam Arupam Tasakaja Muripurim Umaturim Gostvai Radhar Kundaram Vivaram Ahoradikavadvasam Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Sri Guru Danatos Guravai Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Tadaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Dad Bhaktaya Namo Ananda Leela Maya Vigrahaya Hema Bhadavyaschave Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Bheda-abheda aparadaraske Jilukastamaritamamate Griva-maiva Sharanam-prapada Vrinde namaste Sharanam-veda Vrinde namaste Sharanam-veda Govinda Namo Dharamara-vedi Govinda Namo Dharamara-vedi Govinda Namo Dharamara-vedi Govinda Namo Dharamara-vedi Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Zakiri Govinda Namo Dharamara-vedi Shyam Sundar Shikanda Shikha Smara Sumurali Manohara Radhika Rasa Kumbhama Kripanate Supriya Charna Kinkurim Kuru Tavaivasmi Tavaivasmi Najiva Vittayavana Tividyaya Devitam Namam Chantikam. First of all, I offer my Sastang Dandavat Puspanjali, my heart like flowers thousands and thousands of times at the lotus feet of my holy master, my supremely worshipable spiritual Gurudev. Asmatiya Paramarada Tama Guru Pada Padma Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Ashto Tarasata Sri Rupanuga Acharya Vari Sila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Maswami. Secondly, I offer my pranam thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Param Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada and to all of our Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parampara. And finally, I offer my pranam to Pujpad Sri Aristanasana Prabhu and all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Vanchakalpatarupasakvas and Patitanam Bhavani.
Gurudeva ki jai.
Sri Aristanasana Prabhu ki jai.
Srimati Krishna Bhakti ki
Jai. By the causes of Sri Gauranga Gauranga, yesterday we began to discuss the glories of Vrindavan Dham, specifically Sakhi Vrindavan, the Sakhi of Srimati Radhika, the goddess of Vrindavan, Srimati Vrinda-Devi. So, in the first two verses of Sri Vrinda-Devi-Ashtakam, of Srila Vrinda-Devi Thakur, he has presented a very beautiful Rup Dhyan, a meditation on the beautiful form of Vrinda-Devi. Because the realization of the divine transcendental realm manifests gradually. Nam, Rup, Gun, Parikar, Leela, in this way. So after 2 verses describing the beautiful Rup of Vrinda-Devi, in the 3rd verse, Sri Vrinda-Devi Thakur began to discuss her qualities, especially Tatharikari Vishobhanu Putra Vrinde Namaste Charnara Vindam. I bow down at the lotus feet of that Vrinda-Devi, the goddess of Vrindavan, who she has adhikar, that means she's the authority over all moving and non-moving living beings in Vrindavan, and that authority was bestowed upon her by Vrindavana Chakravartini, the empress of Braj, that is Srimati Radhika herself. So those pastimes, the pastimes behind this verse we discussed yesterday. So now we're coming to the 4th verse. We can sing together. Tvad agyaya pushpa vringa mrigari vimana kunja dhari vibhanti vibhushavana bringe namaste charanara vindam bringe namaste charanara vindam. Tadagya, that means, O Vrinda-Devi, on your order, Vrindavan is beautifully decorated with pallav, freshly sprouting leaves and buds, flowers, pushpa, flowers, bringa, humming bumblebees, mriga, and various animals such as deer, peacocks, cows, Madhava Keli Kunja, all the beautiful pastime kunjas of Madhav, Sri Krishna, are decorated on your order. Madhvali Bhanti Vibhushvan Mahada. And also, they're decorated by Madhu Adibir, that means springtime, etc. So the 6 seasons also, they're also decorating this Vrindavan. Don't think of Vrindavan as a material place. It is not an ordinary place. It is not even an extraordinary place. But rather, it is beyond the samadhi, even of Lord Brahma. Sometimes if Brahma will, and not all Brahmas, but some Brahmas, they may get the mercy of Krishna, have a vision in their trance after meditating for thousands of years what Vrindavan is like. Otherwise, it's very rare. Why? Mahaprabhu said to Srila Sanatana Goswami, Krishna Swarupa Suno, Krishna Swarupa Vichar Suno Sanatan, Advaya Gyan Tattva Braje Brajendanandan. Hey Sanatana Goswami, now listen to me about the deliberation on Sri Krishna's Swarup. Advaya Gyan Tattva Braje Brajendanandan. In Braja, the son of Nanda Maharaj, he himself is Advaya Gyan Tattva. Tattva, that means he's the reality of Advaya Gyan, indivisible consciousness. We are in the plane where we experience everything as divisible, broken, chaotic, as if no one is in control. But Sri Krishna exists in the plane of Advaya Gyan, beyond all duality, non-dual consciousness, undivided experience of reality. Unless our consciousness is free from Rajas, Tamas, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, and all the weaknesses, the contaminations of this physical world. What to speak of? Have the darshan of Vrindavan. You cannot even conceive of what it is, what kind of thing it is. See, Krishna is the Advaya Gyan Tattva, indivisible absolute truth. And his dham is non-different from him. It is literally his Param Jyoti, Chidanandam Jyoti, Paramapi, Tadaswadhyam Picha. It is Sri Krishna's effulgence. Priya Shakti Ladini, Priyananda Swarup, Tan Vrindavana Jagamane Iche, Sakyanup. In Brajbhasa he said that Srimati Radhika is the embodiment of Sri Krishna's Ladini Shakti, pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord. Sri Krishna is Ananda Swarup, the embodiment of all bliss. Tan Vrindavana Jagamane. And the sparkling splendor emanating from their body, that is Vrindavan. Dhamna swena sadane rastakokam satyam param dhimahi. The word dham means body. The word dham means vas, residence place. And the word dham means twit. Twit means the aura. So Vrindavan itself is the divine aura of Radha and Krishna. And there, in that supreme realm, every entity, Tadaswadhyam Picha, is relishable, full of rasa. You know that bhakti, devotion, is not an emotion. Emotion means Rajagun, the more the passion is in your mind and you're having some feelings. I feel like this today. Yesterday I felt like that, and tomorrow I may feel something else. So these emotions of the mind, these are coming from Rajagun, and they're very turbulent. But this is the Advaya Gyan, non-dual. Advaya, one meaning of Advaya, non-dual, means there's no past, present and future there. It is akanda, not divided. Time is not divided into past, present and future. Whereas the gunas are always changing. So if our mind is in a state of flux, always changing, then we cannot accommodate even the conception of the unchanging eternal reality. So, if you follow your emotion, then you'll get demotion. But if you have devotion, devotion is not an emotion. You have devotion means that by body, mind and words serving Sri Krishna under the guidance of Gurudev 24 hours a day, that's devotion. Whether you feel good, whether you feel bad, this is not part of the equation. Devotion is Mahaprabhu expressed Radharani's devotion. Krishna, you can embrace me or you can neglect me, as you like. My happiness is not part of the equation. I only think of your happiness. So if you follow emotion, you'll get demotion. And if you follow devotion, then you'll get promotion. To this place described by Srila Vishwanath Thakur. Here, the realm of Vrinda-Devi, Vrindavan Dham. So, what is devotion? Devotion is not emotion, but rather it is the vilas of Swarup Shakti. It's the play of Sri Krishna's internal potency. We are hearing, chanting and remembering and serving. Why? This sadhana. Kritisadhya bhagatsadhya bhavasa sarnabhida nitya siddhasya bhavakya pakatyam riddhi sadhyata. Engaging all of our senses in hearing, chanting, remembering and the various angas of bhakti for the specific purpose that this Swarup Shakti, the internal potency of the Supreme Lord, which is alive, which is conscious, will enter into our chitta vritti will enter like an avatar, descend onto our pran and take over all our mind and senses, and thereby reveal to us the realm that is beyond the material senses, aprakrita, the supernatural realm. So this bhakti, its most intense form is called ragatmika bhakti. Iste swarasiki raga paramavistata bhavat tanmayeya bhavat bhakti satri ragatmikoditaha. Ishte means in the object of love, the Ishtadev. Sri Shama Sundar, Brajandananda, Gopinath, Radhakanta, Shri Krishna, Yashodananda, Vrindavan Chandra, Radharaman, Ishta, the object of love. Ishte Swarasiki. Swarasiki means spontaneous, natural, flowing by itself, without any effort, just like a river is flowing. The river is flowing down the mountain without any effort. So that bhakti which is flowing by itself spontaneously. Iste swarasiki raga. This raga is swarasiki paramavistata. Here these two words go together. Swabhaviki paramavistata means natural, supreme absorption. Ragaha. So rag is the natural, supreme absorption. So the way this verse has been expressed, it is like the phrase Ayor Gritam, means ghee is life. If you say ghee is life, so actually ghee is not life. Ghee is ghee. But if you prepare your food every day with ghee, this ghee is very healthy and it will give you a long life. So he said, Ayogatam, ghee is life. Ghee is not life, but the ghee is the cause of a long and healthy life. So here, iste swarasiki paramavistata ragaha. Paramavistata, swarasiki paramavistata, natural supreme absorption is rag. So, rag is not natural supreme absorption, but rag is the cause of natural supreme absorption. Rag is actually premamayi trishna, a love which is thirsty, a love which is composed of an intense thirst at every moment to please the Ishtadev. And that is just as ghee is the cause of life, that raga is the cause of swarasiki paramavistata, a spontaneous and natural absorption in Krishna. So tanmayi yad bhavat bhakti, that bhakti which is composed of this rag, the devotion which is made of this rag, this loving thirst which causes total spontaneous absorption in Krishna, Sata ragatmikodita, that bhakti is called ragatmik bhakti. So, why am I saying this? Because, unlike this world, if you walk around Basel, you can see the people, the dogs, the trees, the birds. Unlike an ordinary worldly place, in transcendental Vrindavan, every moving and non-moving living creature is absorbed in ragatmik bhakti to Krishna. That is swarasiki raga paramavistata bhavat. That is the nature of all moving and non-moving living entities. Our experience in this world is such that everyone sees themselves as the center of everything. If we want to make a choice, a decision, if we want to evaluate the merits or demerits of anything, then we think, How do I feel about that? What does it mean to me? How can I utilize it? So we are the center of everything. And because everyone in the world thinks that they're the center of everything, so there's conflict everywhere. So transcendental realm is not like that. It's a bit like that's like the geocentric conception of the world, when everyone thought that all the planets the sun was revolving around the earth. Then the Copernican revolution came and they decided, no, everything's revolving around the sun. So, without going into the details of which theory is right or wrong, but the shift from myself being the center of everything to see Krishna being the center of everything. This is the transformation that we undergo on the path of bhakti. So in the spiritual world, see, Krishna is the one object of the love of every moving and non-moving living entity, and they all have ragative bhakti, intense thirst to serve and please him at every moment. Now, how is this service going to be performed? If everyone will serve all at the same time, then it will be a chaos. Someone will have to orchestrate this symphony of devotion. And that is what is being described here in this verse. Twadagya palva pushpa bringa mrigadi vibha madhava keli kunja madhvari vibhanti vibhushamana brindena namaste charnarvinda. Oh Vrinda-Devi, you are the one who is organizing, orchestrating the rag of all the moving and non-moving living entities. In the morning time, early morning before the sun rises, the sun is about to rise, Radha Krishna sleeping together. And then Vrinda-Devi, she will tell, oh, sweet breeze begin to blow. And then when the sweet breezes begin to blow, then the flowers begin to open, and the bumblebees that were trapped inside, they come out and they begin to sing. Then Vrinda-Devi tells the birds to sing, or cuckoos, parrots, and she orders them, and they all come and they fly and they land around the kunja of Radha and Krishna and begin to sing and glorify them to wake them up. So in this way, Vrinda-Devi is giving direction to all moving and non-moving entities in their loving devotion to Radha and Krishna. Tadagyaya palava pushpa bringa. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Padi said, Yat kinchit trimakulmakin. I'm thinking, we're on the fourth verse, and only this fourth verse will take the whole day. How will I finish? Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Padi said, Yat kinchit trinagulmakik temukam goste samastam hitat sarva anandamayam mukunda dayitam lila anukulam param shastra eva mohu mohosputamidam nistankitam yatsne brahmede apisasprema tadidam sarvam maya bandhate. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is saying, I am bowing down and am offering prayers to Yatkinchit, to every trina, every blade of grass in Vrindavan, I pray to you. Gulma, every small shrub and herb growing in Vrindavan, I pray to you. Yatkinchit trina gulma kikat, every insect, every ant and mosquito of Vrindavan, I bow down and I pray to you. Why? Because all the trees, all the creepers, sarvanandamayam, they are full of joy. Mukunda dayitam lila anukulam param. And everything they do is favorable to support and inspire the beautiful loving pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Shastra eva mohu sputamidam. This fact has been loudly announced by all the scriptures, Brahma de Abhisaspriyena, such as Lord Brahma in Srimad Bhagavatam. He prays that Bhuri Bhagyam Niya Janma Kimapyathavyam Yad Gokule Bikatamangara Jobhishekam Yats Jivitam Tunikilam Bhagavan Mukundas Tadyapi Yat Padaraja Suti Mrityameva. Lord Brahma, the creator, secondary creator of the whole universe, the chief of all the devatas, the Adi Guru of our Sampradaya. And when he went to Braj, what did he say? Oh, I would be lucky if I could take birth anywhere here in Vrindavan. No, I'm not qualified to be in Vrindavan. At least give me a birth on the other side of the Jamuna in Gokul Mahavan. What kind of birth? I don't know. I think I will be lucky to become just a stone in Gokul, outside the house of a sweeper woman. So after she's been sweeping the street in Gokul and she comes home, before she enters into a house, she has to scrape the dirt on her from her feet before she goes in the house. If I could be that stone that she's cleaning her feet on it, then Brahma said, that would be great fortune for me. I would be very lucky. Because the tas jivitam tu nikilam bhagavan mukunda. Mukunda is the jiva, the life and soul of Brijbasis. No, the Brijbasis are the life and soul of Mukunda. Krishna, Supreme Lord of all the universes. There in Braj, he cannot live without his Brijbasis. He cannot wake up without them. He cannot eat without them. He cannot bathe. He cannot dress. They're doing everything. He's completely dependent on Brijbasis. And Krishna himself, yes, Divitam Tunikalam Bhagavan Mukundas, he is the life and soul of the Brijbasis in the form of their pran. That means the pran which gives life to your senses. Krishna is living in the senses of all the Brijbasis. Their eyes can only see him, their ears can only hear him, their mind can only think of him. All their senses are just experiencing Krishna at every moment, either directly by meeting or indirectly by separation. And in what capacity you see Krishna living in the senses of all the Brijbasis? Oh, with folded hands and his head bowed down, how can I serve you? And all those loving entities, we don't want to call them living entities, we call them loving entities. All those loving entities, without whom Sri Krishna himself cannot live, then they are being orchestrated. Tadagyaya palava pushpa bringa matpadvi banti babushwana by Vrinda-Devi. So how great is Vrinda-Devi? Vrinda-Devi ki jai! So Pallava, Pushpa. Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, he said, Radha Karavachita Pallava Ballarike. Oh, may my mind always play in that Vrindavan. In that Vrindavan, when Radhika is walking, she looks and she sees the new creepers growing. And some of the creepers have been nipped by a fingernail. Why? Because Krishna has come and picked a flower there to make a garland for Radhika. She looks and she sees in the dust of Vrindavan, there are the footprints of Sri Krishna. And seeing this, Radhika becomes so happy. Why? When Krishna meets with his beloved, she's decorated beautifully with a fragrant red kumkum, cosmetic, on her heart. And when she takes the lotus feet and holds the lotus feet on her heart, then the footprints of Krishna with the ankush, the thunderbolt, with the club, all the signs on the Shubha Lakshana, auspicious markings on the soles of the feet of Krishna are imprinted on the heart of that gopi. Sometimes Krishna is pinching her with his nails. So because Radhika sees her own bhav in everyone else, when she looks at Vrindavan, she thinks, oh, Vrindavan is my Sakhi. And just as a friend, seeing that her friend has the marks of meeting with Krishna on her body, she becomes very happy. So Radhika becomes happy seeing the pinched creepers and the footprints of Krishna in the dust of Braj, think, oh, very happy my Sakhi has met with Krishna. Vrindavanam Sakhi Bhuvo Vitanoti Kirtim Yadeva Ki Sutta Padambuja Labda Lakshmi. How much rasa is there in Srimad Bhagavatam? Pibatu Bhagavatam Rasamahalayam Muraho Rasikavu Vibhavoka. So Tadagi Apallava Pushpa Branga, the leaves, the creepers, the bumblebees. If Radha Krishna are meeting in one kunj and some Sakhis of the Chandravali are passing by that way, Vrinda-Devi would say, quick bumblebees, do your service. And a swarm of bumblebees will come on the path outside that kunj. So those the Sakhis of Chandravali are coming, so don't go that way, go this way. There's some big swarm of bumblebees there. So in this way, even the bumblebees, how they're serving. Mrigadivi, and all the various animals, deer and cows. One morning, after breakfast, Krishna and his friends, they had so much fun, laughing and joking, taking their morning meal. Then some of the elderly gopis, they were coming and speaking, talking to Krishna and Balaram and the boys. And then after that, they set out and they went to the forest. So Krishna and his friends, driving so many cows before them, laughing and joking, speaking, sometimes stuttering, making each other laugh by imitating different voice defects and so on. Joking with each other. At that time, Balaram said, Dauji, Krishna's elder brother, said, hey, Madhumangal, I noticed that while we boys were all receiving some good advice, very humbly receiving with respects advice from the elderly gopis and our seniors in Braja, at that time you went to Brajeshwari Yashoda Maiya and you spoke to her and you said, oh Brajeshwari, if you meet me in a private place, I'll tell you a secret. But then Yashoda was very busy and you never told her anything. So why? When Balaram and Krishna was also there and other cowboys, they were eager to hear the answer of Madhumangal. When Madhumangal heard this, his eyes became so big and he began to laugh. But he didn't say anything. Balaram said, come on, tell us. Why you said you would tell Yashoda a secret in a private place, but you never told her why? Madhumangal said, aha, because I forgot. Balaram said, no, you're not getting out of it so easy. Tell us the truth. What is it what secret thing were you going to say? Madhumangal said, I can tell you the secret, but first I'll have to take permission from the gopis. If the gopis don't give me permission first, then I'll never tell you. Then Krishna, when Madhumangal mentioned it's a secret, something related to the gopis. So now Krishna's sweating. You know that foolish friends are more dangerous than intelligent enemies. Krishna said, you wild, mad person. Don't go to them first. Tell us first. And tell me the truth. You speak the truth now. Madhumangal said, oh, you want me to speak the truth? If I go around speaking the truth to everyone, Krishna, you'll be in big trouble. Especially if I speak to the gopis, you'll have so many arguments today in this forest. If you want me to speak the truth. So then, see Krishna, with his left hand, he grabbed the arm of Madhumangal. And with his right hand, taking his finger and thumb, Then he closed the mouth, the lips off. Now Krishna was really worried. What is Madhu Mangal going to leak? What secret will he leak out in the wrong place and get me in trouble? So then Krishna was holding the lips of Madhu Mangal and holding his hand. And he said to Balaram and the other coward boys, I am going to sew up the lips of this Brahmin. You see, because Krishna's loving affairs in Vrindavan. And they're very, what to say of being secret and confidential here? Even there in the spiritual world, they're secret. So then, Madhu Mangal was trying to speak, but with his lips being held together, he said, he said, if this is the desire, somehow he managed to get it out through the side of his mouth. He said, Oh Krishna, in your heart, if there is this desire to stop me from speaking, then just give me some food. Preferably something very sweet and delicious. So then Balaram came and said, oh, this Brahmana wants a bribe. You see this whole conversation from the very beginning. Madhu Mangal was just dropping hints even here and there. Why? He's trying to get, he's making hints about it to try to get to bribe Krishna. So then, all the coward boys were laughing because in Vedic culture, the Brahmanas, they're meant to be above these weaknesses of manipulation and taking bribes and things like that. So then they were all laughing and Madhu Mangal embraced Krishna. So then, you see, Krishna realized that Madhu Mangal was teasing him. So then he thought, oh, the cows are wandering here and there, let me call my cows. So then, see, Krishna took his flute and put his flute to his lips and began to play. Bahuma bahu krita bama kapolo vagita burad apitavinam kumalanguli ashtumagam gopyairayati yata mukunda. Shukadeva Goswami Pad said, when Sri Krishna takes his flute, then he places his left cheek on his left shoulder like this. And then he puts the flute upon his lip, upon his lower lip, and places his very soft fingers over the holes. His fingers are so soft because he's spoiled. He never did a day's work in his life. His parents don't give him any responsibilities at all. So he places his soft lotus fingers on the holes and then Bhama Bahu Kirtan Bhama Kapola, and he moves his eyebrows like this to signal to his coward boys, watch this. Watch this and listen to this. This will be amazing. He's not saying it's just his eyebrows. So then Sri Krishna began to blow his flute. And as he began to play the flute, all the cows, they became stunned. The demigods gathered around in the sky. One demigod in the sky said, oh, look at this. Usually the rivers, they flow from a high place to a low place. But Prema Nadiya ki sada ulta bahida kon pave jakopa. Prema Nadiya ki sada ulta bahida. The nature of prema is it makes everything upside down, backwards. So now the river Jamuna that was flowing this way has become stunned. And now it's flowing in the opposite direction. All the cows, they had been mooing. Hamba, hamba. That's Sanskrit for moo. All the cows, they had been mooing. And the cuckoo birds, they sing in the fifth note. Sa-re-ga-ma-pa. And the peacocks, they call in the sixth note. Sa-re-ga-ma-pa-da. But now the cows, the cuckoos, the peacocks, everyone, they've all become silent. Complete silence. Everything in Vrindavan has become in a state of silence. Prayobhatamba vihaga munayo vanesmin Krishnaksitam taditam kaluvenu gitam Aruya ye Druma Bujan Ruchira Pravadan Srinvanti Millita Drisho Vigatanya Vachaha. Srila Shukadeva Goswami said, when Sri Krishna plays upon his flute, then the gopis say, "Oh Sakhi, I think that these birds are Vrindavan. They're not birds. But actually they're munis, they're rishis. And they've taken the form of birds." And what are they doing? Just as rishis study the various branches of the Vedas, they take shelter of the different branches of the Vedas. So the birds are taking shelter of the branches of the Kalpa Vriksha trees of Vrindavan. And when the branch which is closest to Krishna becomes full of birds sitting there, then other birds are coming and going on the next branch up, and then other birds are coming on the next branch up. So just as rishis, they study higher and higher branches of the Vedas, so all these rishis are coming and going on higher and higher branches of the trees. Shrimvanti Millita Disho Vigatanya Vaja. And just as a rishi sits with half-closed eyes, not open, because open you start looking around and be distracted, and not closed, because then you may sleep. So meditation, Nirnimesh Drishti, unblinking and half-closed eyes. Shinvanti Milta Disho Vigatanya Vacha. And the birds whose nature it is to chatter and patter all the time, now they became silent. Muni means who is doing mona, silence. So when Sri Krishna plays his flute, all the noisy living entities, Braj is also called Ghosh. Ghosh. And Ghosh means very loud. There's so much sound in Vrindavan all the time. But now Krishna's playing his flute in ecstasy, and all moving and non-moving living entities are just completely absorbed in the sweet melody of Sri Krishna's flute, and they've gone into trance. One demigod in the sky said, "Look, all the cows have gone into trance. How will they come out of trance?" Even Sri Krishna himself, he's playing the flute, and Krishna, hearing the sound of his own flute, went into samadhi, went into trance. Why? Because actually Krishna doesn't know what sound will come out from his flute. Once Radharani was upset with Krishna because he's using his flute always to call the gopis. Krishna said, no. My flute only calls your name. My flute only sings your glories, Radhika. Even I'm not playing it. I just put the flute to my lips and it begins to sing your glories. It's a Prem Katha. Very deep. I put the flute to my lips and the flute begins to sing your glories. I don't know what it will play. So I am myself. The reason I can't stop playing my flute is I want to hear what my flute has to say about you, Radhika. So Sambheta Dasha. Krishna also has Mahabharata. So see, Krishna is saying, I put my flute to my lips and then it begins to sing your glories. I am listening. And Krishna went into a trance. When the demigod saw that Krishna himself had gone into a trance, they thought, now what will happen? See, Krishna is the consciousness of all living beings. If he becomes unconscious, then everyone becomes unconscious. Then how will anyone ever become out of trance again? So the demigods were watching, and they saw all the cowherd boys, all the cows, all the creatures in the whole forest. Everyone became senseless. And then when Krishna became senseless, he stopped playing. So then Krishna stopped playing the flute slowly. Everyone came back out of their trance. And when they came out of their trance, they were all looking at each other with wide eyes of amazement. What happened? What happened? That was amazing. So they didn't say what only their eyes were saying to each other. What happened? What happened? So then Madhu Mandal gave his theory. He said, just see. All all the creatures, all the trees and birds and cows, every living entity in this forest, they're all my friends. So because you insulted me, this is their response, a stunned silence. Madhumangal is so hilarious. He tries to make himself the center of everything. Because he's a Brahmin, and a Brahmin is free from all ego. So to make Krishna laugh, he's not really like that, but he's entertaining Krishna by playing an opposite role. So everyone was stunned because of the brain inspired by the sound of Krishna's flute. But Madhumangal said, oh, because you were insulting me. So because they're all my friends, there was all a stunned silence. How dare you insult this great Brahmin? So in this way, Tadagya Pallava Pushpa Bringa Mrigadi Vimadava Keli Kunja, every moving and non-moving living being, they're all participating in the beautiful pastimes of Krishna and nourishing all the rasas. Especially here, Madhava Keli Kunja, in the kunjas of Madhav, Madhvadi Vibhanti Vibhushwana, those kunjas are decorated by 6 seasons. So this is quite astonishing. In Vrindavan, just as Vrinda-Devi is a demigoddess, a devata, a Ban-Devi, that means, Ban-Devi means fairy of the forest, the spirit of that forest of Vrindavan. So, there are also goddesses of each of the seasons. So in Vedic culture, and in Transcendental Vrindavan also, there are not 4 seasons, there are 6 seasons. First spring, Vasant, then Grishma, summer, then Varsha, rainy season, then Sharad, autumn, Hemant, the cool season, and then Shishir, cold winter. And then Vasant comes again. So each one of these seasons in Vrindavan is a goddess. And those goddesses are always serving Radha Krishna's Leela. But it's quite astonishing. It's very different. You see, Radha Krishna, sometimes they want to have holy Leela. Throwing colors, pastimes of throwing color. So the best season for Holi is Vasant, springtime. But then after throwing colors, now they're all covered in color, they want to go into the Radhakund or into the Jamuna, and it will wash off all the colors, and they'll play together in the water. So the best time to play in the water is when? Summertime, right? Because then the heat of the sun heats up the water, and the water is very pleasant. Sometimes Radha and Krishna, they want to do the Julan Leela, swinging pastimes. So the best time for Julan is Varsha, the rainy season. Not heavy monsoon rain, but very fine mist, like a vaporizer. And it makes the cloth of Braj Gopis damp, and their beauty is peeping through, and they ride on the swings, and it's very beautiful, spectacular Leela. Julan Leela takes place in the Varsha, rainy season. Then sometimes they want to do the Rasa Leela, dancing in the forest. So it's very nice to dance when all the ground is covered in a carpet of flowers which have fallen from the trees in the autumn. Sharad season. So the best season for Rasa Leela is Sharad, autumn season. Then the next season is a Hemanta, cool season. So if it's a bit cool outside, then no need to go outside, stay inside and you can play some board games. Chaupar, that's like Vedic Ludo. Or chess. So Radha Krishna, they'll play chess, Chaupar, some board games. When it's cool outside, and if it's very cold outside, in the Shishir season, if it's very, very cold, then stay inside by a very big roaring fire. So when Radha and Krishna have their intimate loving pastime together in a beautiful fire, and it's warm, cozy inside and cold outside, then you see, but for us in this world, what do? First the season comes and then we do our sport. So when the winter comes, everyone goes skiing. If the summer comes, then everyone goes surfing. But the spiritual world is the other way around. Chukadeva Goswami says, Tadodu Rajak Kubai Karamukam. The meaning is that when Krishna, when Krishna wanted to do the Rasa Lila, Tadodu Raja, at that time, then the full moon rose to illuminate the forest at night for a beautiful Rasa Lila. So it's not that the full moon rose, then Krishna saw it and thought, oh, this is a nice weather for the Rasa Lila. No, Krishna desires to do the Rasa Lila, Tadodu Raja, and then all the seasons change and transform and serve in the Lila. So in this world, first the season comes and then we do the activity according to the season. But in Vrindavan, whatever activity Radha Krishna want to do, then the goddess of the season comes forward and she serves according to that. So actually, every day, Radha and Krishna, they have Holy Lila. Every day they have Jal Keli playing in the water. Every day they have Jhulan swinging pastimes. So like this, the 6 seasons are serving every day. The goddesses of the 6 seasons, they come every day, one after another, to render their services. How? Under the guidance of Vrinda-Devi. So, Madhvadevi Banti Vibhushamana Vrindai Namaste Charnaravindam. Oh Vrinda-Devi, I bow down to your lotus feet. You are directing all the goddesses of the seasons and all the various animals and creatures and all the plants of the forest to serve Radha and Krishna in the most beautiful way. Now come to the next verse. Tvati adute mani kunjayuna atut kayo keli vilasa siddhi tatso bhagam kena niruchatam tad vrinde namaste chanara vrindam vrinde namaste chanara vrindam. Todiya dutyena, that means, oh Vrinda-Devi, by your dautya karya, your duty of being a duty. Duty means a messenger. Duty means messenger, female messenger. Duta is male, like the Yamadutas, the messengers of Yamaraj. And the female messenger is called duty. So the duty of a duty is called Dyautya Karya, the duties of a messenger. So Tvadiya Dutyena, oh Vrinda-Devi, because of your performance of the service of being a messenger, you arrange Keli Vilasa Siddhi, the perfection of Radha Krishna's pastimes in the Nikunjas of Braja, Atyut Kayo. And Radha Krishna are extremely, excessively enthusiastic to meet together. So, Tat Sobhagam Kena Niruchatam Tat. Who could possibly describe the extent of your great fortune, Vrinda-Devi? Here the meaning is this. That for, see, Radha and Krishna, separation is intolerable. When Radhika is not with Krishna, then she's weeping. Kaham mora pranunato murali badan kaham karon kaham pa vrajendrananda kahare kohibo kepo Jai mora duko Prajendana dana inu Bhate mora muka. Oh Saki, where is my pran, my life and soul, who plays upon a flute? Where is the son of Nandamraj? Where can I go? What can I do to find him? To whom can I speak? And to whom can I express? Who can understand the extent of my disappointment? My heart is exploding. It is as if my chest will break open. That my heart will burst out from my chest. This is radical at the time of separation. And see Krishna also. Santapayam Pralaya Sura Ivavabhati. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, the separation that Radha and Krishna feel from each other is exactly like the blazing heat of the sun at the time of the devastation, the pralaya, the annihilation of the universe. When the cycle of the universe is about to come to an end, then the sun is much hotter than today even. It becomes so hot that it begins to burn the entire universe. Everything is devoured by the heat of the sun, of the pralaya. That's called pralaya surya. So, Santapayan Prayasura Ivavabhati. When Radha and Krishna are in separation, they feel the heat of separation to be greater than the sun at the time of the annihilation of the universe. So therefore, when Vrinda-Devi goes backwards and forwards and arranges them to come together, and they finally meet, then how happy they are. And how indebted they are to Vrinda-Devi. How grateful Radha and Krishna feel. Because, oh Vrinda-Devi, you have saved us from this blazing fire of separation by your Dautya Karya, by your acting as a messenger and bringing us together. So Radha Krishna, they are ready to give anything to Vrinda-Devi. So Srila Vishwanath Thakur said, Tvat sobhagam kena nirushyatam tat. Who can describe the extent of your good fortune? Because Radha and Krishna both feel unlimitedly indebted to you that they can never repay you. This is the greatness of Vrinda-Devi. And this is why when Advaita Acharya saw that the world was devoid of bhakti, he was calling, oh Krishna, and serving his Shalagram Shila and offering tulsi, a tulsi leaf. Because he remembered the verse of the Brihad Gautamiya Tantra. Tulasi dalamatrena jalasya chulukenava vikrinitesva atmanam bhaktebhya bhaktavatsala. That if someone will offer to Sri Krishna just one tulsi leaf and a palmful of water, then Sri Krishna vikrinitesva atmanam, not seeing anything in his possession which is so valuable to reciprocate with that one tulsi leaf, Sri Krishna gives himself to that person. So he sells himself, vikrinite. Krishna is saying here, I'm on sale, special offer today, only one tulsi leaf. Why? Bhaktebhyo bhaktavatsala. Because Sri Krishna is full of devotion and affection for his devotee. So the meaning here is that because Radha Krishna feel so much separation, and it's Vrinda-Devi who brings them together. That's why we wear our tilak. This one side is Radhika and one side is Krishna. So parallel lines don't meet. But these two parallel lines meet here, where? In Vrindavan. So this tilak is the emblem of Manjari Bhav. Our only desire, our only asha, our only hope is that Radha and Krishna will meet together in Vrindavan. So when Radha and Krishna meet, they're so indebted to Vrinda-Devi that if anyone will take shelter of her and just give one leaf to Krishna, then Sri Krishna, he sells himself to that person. So Vrinde Namaste Charanaravinda. Sing together the next verse. Rasa vilaso vasatista vrinda vane tvari changri saroja seja lavya cha pumsam kripaya now Srila Vishwanath Thakur is saying, oh Vrinda-Devi, what kind of benefit will accrue to that person who is worshipping you and serving you? And he gives a list here. Rasa vilaso vasatischa Vrinda-bhane tvadishangri saroja seva labhya cha pungsam kripayata bhaiva Vrinde namaste charnaravindam. Oh Vrinda-Devi, by your kripa, kripayata bhaiva, by your kripa, labhya cha pungsam, any person can attain three things. Rasa vilaso, that is the desire to enter into Rasa Lila. Vasatischa, the desire to reside eternally in Golok Vrindavan. Tvadishangri saroja seva, and seva, direct service to the lotus feet of Tvadisha, your master. Isha, Ishangri is Isha and also Isha, your master and mistress. One will attain service to Radha and Krishna only by your mercy. So this is most wonderful. If you ask people what you want, they give so many different answers. Mukti, mukti, siddhi, kami, sakliya, shanta. Everyone is disturbed. They're not peaceful because they want sense gratification. Or they may want mukti, liberation, or some yogic, mystic powers. But Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Atayeva Shanta, the devotees are Nishkam. They have no desires. That means no worldly desires. But only giving up worldly desires is not beneficial. Rather, the heart should be overwhelmed with spiritual desire. So Srila Vishwanath Thakur is saying, by worshipping Tulsi Devi, she inspires the heart of the devotee to be filled with such desires. And the first one she's saying, Rasa Vilaso. Someone said to you, oh, what do you want? Then what comes to mind? If you get the mercy of Vrinda-Devi, the first thing will come to your mind is, I want to serve Radha Krishna in the Rasa Lila. Rasa Vilas. Why? What's so special about this Ras? What is it even? Ras. The word is not Rasa. The word is Ras. You see? It's with a long A. It's not Rasa. Rasa. So Ras means Rasanam Samuha iti Rasa. Rasa. Rasanam Samuha iti Rasa. The Ras is a special pastime wherein there is the Samuha, the aggregation of all rasas. In other words, in transcendental praying, there are so many flavors of love. Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. 5 primary rasas and 7 secondary rasas. Hasya, Bhuta, Virya, Karuna, Rodari, Vatsa and Bainak. So 12 in all. And in this Rasa Lila, all of these rasas are present, but in a way which is anukul to Sringa Rasa, to the romantic pastimes, in an adjusted way. Because many of the rasas are incompatible. You cannot have the romantic pastime with the secret girlfriend in front of your parents, right? So, Vatsalya Rasa, Madhurya Rasa, it's not, they're not compatible. Yet still, all the rasas in an adjusted way, which is favorable for Madhurya Rasa, are present there in the Rasa Lila. For example, Radha and Krishna, they're holding hands and they're walking joyfully through the forest. There are so many different flowers that Vrinda-Devi has planted there. These flowers, they illuminate the night. They're luminous. They glow in the dark. So in Nandagaon, where Krishna stays, and Yavat, where Radhika stays, the Vrinda-Devi does not plant any of these luminous glow-in-the-dark flowers around the village. Why? Because if Radha Krishna is sneaking out of the house in the middle of the night, then if someone wakes up, they'll look and they'll see them. So Vrinda-Devi is very clever. She's planted all dark tamal trees in a circle around the village. So from the village to the forest, everything is dark. And then on the other side of the dark tamal trees, that's where she's planted all the luminous flowers. So Radha Krishna walking through the forest and they're looking. So many, every day, they're seeing new species of flowers that they've never seen before. New birds that they've never seen before. And they're talking to each other and pointing them out. And they experience in this way Adbhut Ras, astonishment. Hasya Adbhut Vira Karuna. They experience the Hasya Rasa. Why? They're looking at the creatures in the forest. They're seeing the peacocks, the birds, the deer, the rabbits. And you know that all animals, they have some kind of mating ritual that they go to. They don't just meet together to mate. First the male is kind of chasing after the female, and then she's kind of agreeing, and then she runs off, and then he runs after her again. And then it takes some time. There's a whole dance that they have to do before they're united. So Radha Krishna, they're seeing the various rituals of the animals in nature and laughing because, yes, it's kind of reminds us of someone. So seeing the parallels in the behaviors in nature and with the activities, the loving affairs of the heroes and the heroines in Vraja, they see and they experience the Hasyaras. Hasya, Bhuta, Vira, Karuna, Rodra, Vibhats, Bhai. Sometimes Krishna said, "Oh Radhika, look, there's very beautiful flowers in this kunj. Let's pick some flowers there." But there's a big swarm of bees going. And Krishna pushes Radhika into the kunj and she becomes fear. She feels fear from so many bumblebees in that kunj. So the rasa of fear is manifested. Krishna says, don't worry. And he chases away the bees. He has a lotus stem and he's chasing them away. But one bee doesn't go and he comes back and he's disturbing, flying around the face of Radhika. So then Krishna is, get out. And his eyes become very long all the way around to his makar kundal and red. As he becomes angry, leave my Radhika alone. So this experience is the Rodra Rasa. So all the rasas become favorable for Madhurya. Hasya, Bhuta, Vira, Karuna, Rodra, Vibhats. By Vatsalya Bhav, parental mood. Parents, they like to teach their children good things, and when their children learn and repeat back to them what the parents have taught, then the parents are very happy. So Radha Krishna are taking parrots and very lovingly stroking the parrots and giving them pomegranate seeds. And Krishna is teaching the parrot poetry about Radhika, and Radhika is teaching the parrot poetry about Krishna, like this. And when they teach the poetry and the parrot recites their own poems back to them, then they're very happy and give them more pomegranate seeds and stroke them. And so Vatsalya Ras, the parental love, is manifested in a way adjusted which is anukul for the Sringar, romantic mood. Sometimes Radha Krishna, they have a battle that is Ananda Vardhana Premani Ketana Phula Sayojaka. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing so full of rasa. How Radha Krishna's eyes are full of calm, full of prem. And they're just as on the battlefield, the soldiers come together and shoot arrows at each other. So Radha Krishna are shooting the arrows of prem through each other's eyes, their smiles and the movements of the eyebrows. So then Vira Ras comes, like heroes in a battle. And Vira Rasa. Sometimes when Krishna sees that, oh, the soft tender buds on the creepers are trembling so much due to the waves of praying emanating from Radha and Krishna, then tears come in his eyes and he feels it's a compassion for them, Karuna Rasa. And when Radha and Krishna become stunned in ecstasy and their chitta vritti, they have nivritta chitta vritti, not anata nivritti, chitta vritti nivritti. That means they become stunned in ecstasy. All the movements of their consciousness is completely frozen in ecstasy, stamba. Then they experience the Shanta Rasa. So, in this way, Rasanam Samo iti Rasaha. In the Rasa Lila of Radha Krishna, all the flavors of love are present and experienced there. Otherwise, Rasa means Parama Rasa Kadamba Moi iti Rasaha. That means that not only are all the rasas present in the Rasa Lila, but all the paraphernalia, everything in this Rasa Lila, Krishna, Radhika, every gopi, all of their cloths, their ornaments, their instruments, the bank of the Jamuna itself, the kunjas and the flowers, everything is permeated by Mahabhav, Paramarasa. So Paramarasa Kadamba Moi iti Rasaha, the Leela in which the entirety of every ingredient is permeated by the influence of Radhika's Mahabhav. That is the Rasa Leela. It is the most astonishing thing. If you ask Krishna, oh Krishna, can you tell me about Rasa Leela? He becomes stunned. He cannot do it. He can only close his eyes and say, Madhur, Madhur, Madhur. He forgets everything, only hearing the word Rasa Leela. Oh, Bibhatsa. Oh yes. Bibhatsa Rasa means when Krishna is in one kunj with a beautiful gopi and he sees the golden complexion of a beautiful body, and just next there in the kunj there is a Stala Kamalini, a golden land lotus. And when he sees the golden land lotus, that gopi is so beautiful. Seeing the golden land lotus, Krishna, disgusting. It's disgusting. That's Vibhats. How Vibhatsa Ras comes in the Kunjali. So everything is there. You know that the Rasa Leela, millions of gopis are dancing, playing musical instruments. It is the greatest musical summit or conference or symposium, symphony in all existence. So I have a question. How many instruments are playing in the Rasa Leela? Uncountable. Good guess. Uncountable what? Uncountable types or uncountable numbers? So uncountable types and uncountable numbers. Okay, good guess. Anyone else? Huh? Zero? Okay. One. The answer is 2. In Rasa Leela, you see, Aristanasana. Enough. In Rasa Leela, only 2 instruments are playing. What is that? Do you know the 2 instruments?
Venu and Veena.
No.
Venu and Nupur.
Sridhar Swami, in his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhava Dipika, he said, Rasa Leela Jayatyesha Yayasam Yujyate Nisham Hare Vidagdata Berya Rata Saubhagya Dundubhi. In the Rasa Leela, 2 instruments are playing eternally. This is the Rasa. The Rasa Leela is such a pastime where the sound of 2 instruments is mixed together and it's playing eternally. What is that? Hare Vidagdata Beryam Radha Saubhagya Dundubhi. Two instruments. One is bheri. A bheri is a type of big drum, like a kettle drum. Boom, 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 boom. If you want to make a big announcement. And a dundubi is another big drum, but even bigger. Boom, boom, boom. Even bigger. So there are two instruments playing, only bheri and dundubi. What kind of bheri and dundubi? Hare Vidagdita bheri. This Rasa Leela, this pastime, is the loud beating bheri drum of Sri Krishna's Vidagdata. His skill. Vidagda means artistic skill, cleverness, cunning, genius, artistic genius and brilliance. That is called Vidagdata. So this Rasa Leela is the beating of the drum announcing the Vidagdata, the artistic skill and genius of Shyamasundar, mixed with the even louder dundubi, the great kettle drum of the Radha Saubhagya Dundubihi. That means the great fortune of Srimati Radhika. So fortune doesn't mean like winning the lottery or anything like that. You have to understand, when the word Saubhagya, fortune, is used in Vedic culture in relation to a woman, it means that she has, that her beloved is vasibhut, completely controlled. A woman whose husband is completely under her control is called Saubhagyavati, very, very fortunate. So these are the two, in this Rasa Leela, two instruments are playing. Boom, boom, boom. Krishna's artistic genius and Radharani's Saubhagya. Her great fortune, how she's controlled this artistic genius. He's completely under her control. So this is Rasa Leela. It's a very interesting thing because people think, oh, what is... They don't have a desire. What is this Rasa Leela? Krishna goes into the forest, plays his flute. All the gopis come there and he tells them to go home. And then they're upset with him. So then he laughs and said, I was just joking. So then he starts to dance with them. And then Radharani sees that Krishna's dancing with everyone. So then she becomes in man, she's upset. She wants to leave, so Krishna takes her away. And then all the other gopis are crying and in madness for Krishna and searching everywhere. They follow Krishna's footprints and then see there's a girl with him. Oh, who is this? Anaya Radhita Anunam. This is the dundubi. Boom, boom, boom. Anaya Radhita Anunam. This girl must have worshipped Bhagavan more than any of us. Because this coward boy, Yanno Vihaya Govinda Prito Yama Anayadraha. What kind of boy can give up 33 billion beautiful girls to be with one? It's not conceivable. So, boom, boom, boom. The dundubi drum of Radhika's great fortune, that she's controlled Krishna by her love. And then what happened? Then Krishna also abandoned Radharani and he disappeared, and now Radharani is fainting and crying. And all the gopis come together and they're all crying together. What kind of pastime is this? Who wants to be in this pastime? Everyone's crying. And then Krishna reappears again and then they all dance together again. What is this? If Radharani loves Krishna, then why is she in man and upset that he's dancing with others? Can't everyone please him? And if Krishna is so nice, why does he keep just disappearing without giving any notice to anyone? And making them cry. So all these mysteries, they can only be realized by mercy of Vrinda-Devi. Srila Vishwanath Thakur said, those who worship you, the Kripa comes to realize what is the nature of this Leela. And then the heart will be filled with desire. I want to serve there. Only this, there's nothing more than this. You know that actually the cause of the Rasa Leela is Radhika. One day, Yat pratitam sakutakenu purana yeva Shaknosi kimnu kula jabada lakshakoti. Alingitum priyatamakshanam eva mandi chastedi dikshitamaham mamapura eva. One day, Radha and Krishna were alone. And, men are very practical. They always look at problems and try to solve solutions. And the lady's mind is very creative and thinking of things which are totally impossible. And this is psychology. So Radhika, she's looking at Krishna with so much love, and she said, "Oh Krishna, I want to see you dance and embrace millions and millions of beautiful chaste gopis all at the same time. Please fulfill my desire." This desire just came into my heart. So this is amazing. See, Krishna is Swachama, he has desires. But when Krishna is with Radhika, see, Krishna inspires desires in Krishna that Krishna didn't even know that he had. So Radhika's service to Krishna is to fulfill his desires. But she does not only fulfill all of his desires that he has, she also gives him more desires and fulfill those as well. Only Radhika can do this. So Radhika has requested in this way, "Krishna, I want to please fulfill my desire to see you dancing with millions and millions of Kulajavada Lakshakoti, very chaste, religious, pious young gopis." So then you may think that if Srimati Radhika, it was her desire that Krishna dance with them, then when she saw him dancing with them all, why did she become upset? So the answer is that each gopi that was dancing with Sri Krishna, she was so intoxicated by her good fortune. Oh, after all this time, and Krishna, he's finally dancing only with me. That she was not paying attention to any others. So, if you are only absorbed in your own good fortune and not paying attention to anyone else, how can you have a group dance? Just like in Kirtan, now we'll have a Kirtan and we'll all dance. But everyone's seeing each other and doing the same movements. It's a group dance. If one person will run up and down, another person will go in a circle, another one will go in the opposite direction, then this is not a group dance. This is just chaos. So Radhika wanted to see a Ras Leela, a group dance with all, but because each and every gopi was absorbed in intoxicated, "Oh, Krishna's just with me." So they were not paying attention to the others. So she didn't leave because she was upset with Krishna or with them, but she said, "Oh, my desire to please Krishna by this group dance is not being fulfilled." So then she raised her eyebrows, and then Krishna panicked and said, "Okay, come." And he took her alone. And then they went alone, very beautiful pastimes together. But then, Sri Krishna, he disappeared. And when Sri Krishna disappeared, Radhika cried, "Ha Nata, Ramana, Preshta, Kwasi Mahabhuja, Dasyaste Kripanayame, Sakke Dasya Sanghidem." "Oh Ramana Preshta, oh my most beloved, where are you, where are you?" And she fainted and fell to the ground. She was weeping in separation. And all the other gopis came, and when they saw her, then they realized, "Oh, we thought we felt separation. But compared to the fire of separation of Radhika, her separation is like a blazing forest fire, and we are like tiny fireflies." So now the attention of all the gopis, they had recognized the supreme position of Radhika and had great sympathy for her. And because of that, her bhav began to overflow, became Pama Rasa Kadambamai. Now all the gopis become permeated by the influence of Radhika's bhav. By Krishna abandoning her in the night, now they all have sympathy for her, and now they've all become like one heart. So when Krishna appears again, now the actual Rasa Leela can take place. So how clever is Krishna? How clever. Therefore, this Rasa Leela, two instruments are there. One is bum bum bum. That is the berry drum of Krishna's cleverness. It was Krishna who made Radhika man. It was Krishna who told gopis to go home. It was Krishna who has abandoned the gopis only with Radhika. Krishna who has abandoned Radhika. But everything he did was due to his being Rasik Shekhar. He's a genius in transcendental emotion. And Srimati Radhika, when Krishna leaves, she's crying and crying. Once Radhika said, Kastam kadapi sukasadman udakameva mitraya mitram api yachtati tadditaisi tivranjane yadapi murchayate sadristhim ayatyati jutimatim kurute janastam. Radharani said, someone asked, why do you love Krishna? He gives you so much pain. Actually, it was Krishna in disguise. He was testing her. Krishna in disguise said, why do you love this Krishna? He gives you so much pain, I cannot tolerate it. Radharani said, Kastam kadapi. Yes, sometimes Krishna gives pain to me. But I know one thing. It's exactly like this. If there are two Sakhis, two female friends, and out of love for each other, they want to decorate each other. So one Sakhi will take the kajal, the black eyeliner, and tell her Sakhi, look up. And then she'll look up, and then she'll make the eyeliner, paint the eyeliner, the kajal on the eye. But this application of kajal and the kajal itself, at first, when it's first applied, it's very sharp. Tivranjana, the anjana is tivra. And it gives pain to the eye. So then one may say, well, why is a friend giving pain to the other friend? No, yes, this is a temporary pain, because she will blink, and after a few minutes the eyes will look so beautiful, and they'll be, when the friend then holds up the mirror and she sees herself, she'll be full of joy. So Radharani says, Krishna is like that. Actually, he's never against me. He doesn't really give me pain, but out of love, sometimes he does some things that momentarily give me some discomfort for the purpose of experiencing a much higher joy. So if Radharani understands this, then when Krishna disappears from the Rasalila, then why is she, Ha Nata Ramana Krishna Kwasi Kwasi? Why didn't she just say Kastam Kadapi Sukasadva Mudai? Okay, no problem, he's just putting some kajal on, he'll be back. Let's go, just sit down, wait a few minutes. It's just a little bit of pain, no problem, it's for our benefit. No, she's crying and rolling on the floor. Why? Because Krishna has said to Uddhav, Maita prayasa praste duraste gokulastriya smrantyam gavi muyanti virahut kanta vivalaha. Hey Uddhav, when the gopis are in separation from me, they remember me, and remembering me, vira utkanta vivala, they become overwhelmed with the anxiety of separation, and then they cannot think. Kimiha krinuma kasya bruma kritam kritama shaya katayata kritam mangyam danya ahoridayesha. Oh Sakhi, what shall I do? To whom will I speak? In separation, my mind isn't working, my intelligence isn't working anymore. So I want to ask advice from my Sakhis, but they're also in separation, so their minds are not working anymore either. Their intelligences are not working. So Kimiha krinuma, to whom will I speak? Because none of us can think anymore in this pain of separation. But Sri Krishna has disappeared only to unite all the gopis with Radhika in the middle. And therefore, Radha Saubhagya Dundubhi. Two instruments in this Raslila, the berry drum of Sri Krishna's Vidagdhata, genius, artistic genius, and the very loud kettle drum of the greatness of Srimati Radhika, her Saubhagya, her good fortune, by which she alone can control Krishna, even more than all other gopis, not one gopi or any gopi, but all gopis put together. Ratin Gauri Leya Pita Patisondaya Kiranai Satir Satya Lakshmi Paribhava Saubhagya Balanai. Vasikarais Chandravali Mukhanavina Brajasati Chapatyarat Haritayitaradam Bhajamana. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami said, oh my dear mind, just do bhajan of the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. She's so beautiful that the rays of her beauty cause Ratin, the wife of Cupid, Gauri, the wife of Shiva, Leela, the pastime potency of Lord Narayan, they're all burning. They're all feeling burning of envy due to the intense rays of the beauty emanating from Radhika. Sati, Satya, Sati, Lakshmi, Satya, and Sachi, the wife of Indra. Lakshmi Devi, the wife of Lord Narayan. Satyabhama, the wife of Krishna in Dwarka. They are all completely defeated by the Saubhagya, the great fortune of Radhika. What to speak of them? Vasikarais Chandravali Mukhanavina Brajasati. Even Chandravali, who is the leader of all the rival gopis in the rival group to Srimati Radhika, she is completely defeated by Radhika's power to control Krishna by her brain. So my dear mind, just worship her. So here in this verse, Srila Vishnu Thakur is saying, Rasa Bilaso Vasachista Vrindavane Tvadi Sangri Saroja Seva. Oh Vrinda-Devi, by worshipping you, a great benefit will come. You will fill my heart with an intense desire for the Rasalila, Rasavila soul, Vasatis, to reside in the eternal Golok Vrindavan, and Tvadi Shangri Saroja Seva, and to engage in the service of the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, of Radha Dasya. The desire for Radha Dasya. There's nothing greater than this. Radha Nagara Keli Sagara Nimagnali Dasham Yatsukam Nota Lesha Lavayate Bhagavata Saravopi Sokyutsavaha. Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, he said that Krishna is Anandamoy, full of joy, and Krishna makes so many arrangements for his ecstatic loving pastimes to experience Ananda. But all of the Ananda of that God himself, Sri Krishna, experiences is not equal to even one tiny atom of the ocean of happiness experienced by the eyes of the maid servants of Srimati Radhika when they look inside the kunj and say, oh, what is Radha and Krishna doing? So Srila Vishnu Thakur said, oh Vrinda-Devi, you bless me with the desire for that seva of Radha and Krishna. So now he's saying, verse 7, sing together. Tvam kirja seisa tvatatanta vidhi lila vidana kila Krishna shakti tavaiva murtis tulasi niloke vrinde namaste charanara vindam vrinde namaste charanara vindam. O Vrinda-Devi, Tam Kirtase Sattvatatanta Vidhi. Your glories have been described in the Vaishnav Tantra Shastras. As we mentioned before, Tulasi Dalamatrena Jalasya Chulakena Va. How only offering one tulsi leaf to Krishna, Krishna will sell himself. So that is in the Gautamiya Tantra. So such glories of Vrinda-Devi have been described in the Tantra Shastras. And there it is said, Leela Bidana Kila, Krishna Shakti. Oh Vrinda-Devi, you are the Leela Shakti. So this is very profound Siddhanta. In this world, everything is going on by karma. The laws of karma. The planets are moving, and each person, according to their horoscope, is going through so many different experiences as the reactions of their past life activities. So fate is going on. But in the spiritual world, there's no karma. There's no fate. So what is making everything happen? That is the Leela Shakti Yoga Maya. So Yoga Maya Devi, Purnamasi Devi, is the total Yoga Maya, Leela Shakti, in charge of all Leelas in all rasas, Santa Dasa, Sakya Vatsalya and Madhurya. And so Yogamaya Devi is the beej of a vikar in Swarup Shakti. You learn this. Yogamaya Devi is the beej, that means the seed of vikar, all transformations of Swarup Shakti, that's the spiritual energy of which the entire spiritual world is composed. So Yogamaya Devi is the beej of
Swarup Shakti.
She is the seed of the transformation of the whole spiritual universe. Now that Yogamaya Devi is in tune with the heart of Krishna. So whatever Krishna wants, whatever desire comes in his heart, then Yogamaya Devi detects that, and then she's the seed in Vikar that makes the entire spiritual universe all begin to move and arrange, so that desire in the heart of Krishna will be fulfilled. That is Leela Shakti. Now Purnamasi Devi has the swarup of an elderly tapasvi. She's a disciple of Narad Muni from Avantipur, Ujjain. She's the mother of the Sandipani Muni and the grandmother of her two grandchildren, Madhumangal and Nandimukhi, two Brahmin boy and girls in Braja. So she has a human-like pastime, but because she's elderly, she has white hair, she's old, but she looks very beautiful, very effulgent, pasvini, doing austerities. She's an authority in Braja. For the Brijbasis, the words of Purnamasi are not less authentic than the Vedas themselves, even. So, but because she's an older person, Radha and Krishna are somewhat shy in her presence. They're very respectful to Bhagavati Purnamasi Devi. They always bow down, "Oh Holy Mother, please bless me." So she cannot be very close by when their loving pastimes are there. So the prakash of Yogamaya, especially for the department of Madhurya Rasa, is Vrinda-Devi. So this is what Srila Vishnu Thakur is saying here. Lila Vidana Kila Krishna Shakti. Oh Tulsi Devi, you are the Leela Shakti, but you are the special person in charge of the Madhurya Leela, representative of Yogamaya, who is the beej of Vikar in the Swarup Shakti. Who is Yogamaya?
Beej of Vikar in Swarup Shakti.
Good. Try to know good Siddhanta. So my obeisances to you. Now, Tavaiva Murtis Tulasini Loke. Srila Vishnu Thakur is saying, "Oh Vrinda-Devi, you are so merciful that Sri Krishna came to this world just over 5,000 years ago, and he performed his Leela in this world for 125 years, and then he became unmanifest. Krishna became unmanifest, Radharani became unmanifest, Lalita, Vishaka, Baladev, everyone became unmanifest. But you did not become unmanifest, you stayed here. So Vrinda-Devi, you are very, very kind. Even though Krishna and all of his associates have gone, Tavaiva Murtis Tulasi Nriloka, you remain here in the world of human beings in the form of the tulsi plant, so that we can serve you." So now, Srila Vishnu Thakur, 8th verse, last verse, and then there's a false routine. Bhaktya vina aparada lakshe tirthasya kamaritaram namadye kripa mahitvam sharanam prafala vrinde namaste charanara vrindam vrinde namaste charanara vrindam. Now, Srila Vishnu Thakur has been praying and his mood is going higher and higher. And now in this last verse, his heart is breaking and he's crying. It is said, "Adya piya se leela kari kora rai, kon kon bhagavani dekhi pare pai." The pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're going on even today. They are eternal. And those who are fortunate, they can see those pastimes. Those who are fortunate, if they'll go to the Gambhira in Jagannath Puri, they can hear the cry of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. "Kaha mora prananatam." "Oh my pran, where are you?" Krishna crying in the mood of Radhika in the Gambhir, they can hear that. So similarly, the kirtan of Srila Vishnu Thakur is nitya, it is eternal and transcendental. So kaun bhagavane dekhi bhai bhai, those who are fortunate today, they can hear the weeping of Srila Vishnu Thakur. Alas, alas, bhaktya bihina, I have no bhakti at all. Aparad lakshay, but I have hundreds and thousands of offenses. Chittast khamadi taranga madhye, what am I doing in this world? I am simply, due to my offenses and my absence of bhakti, I am being thrown here and there in waves in the ocean of calm, only lust, anger and greed, attachment, pride, envy, all the bad qualities are just blowing me here and there like waves in the ocean of lust and anger and greed. So I am drowning, I am suffering here. Kripa Mai, oh Vrinda-Devi, you are Kripa Mai, you are full of compassion. Tvam Sharanam Prapanna, so I am taking shelter of you, please give me your shelter. That I can be delivered from this ocean of material attachments and desires. That I can be freed from all millions of my offenses that I am making every day. And that bhakti will come to me. So Srila Vishnu Thakur actually has bhakti. Very high level of bhakti. But this is the nature of the devotee. Na prema gandosti durapame haro Kandami sobhagya param pakasita bangsi vilasana lokanam bina vimami tat prana bhaktanga kambrita. Radharani herself was weeping, and Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radharani has said this verse. I have na prema gandosti. What to speak of having prem? I don't even have the smell of prem from far away. Love is very, very far away from me. Why? What is the proof? I see you crying for Krishna all the time. No. Kandami sobhagya param. Because of pride, I'm just trying to show that I have devotion to others, but actually I have no devotion at all. What is the proof? Oh, a fish loves water. If you take the fish out of water, they're just flapping for a few moments and then they die. But what is my situation? I'm not seeing the beautiful smiling face of Krishna and I'm still alive. Why am I still alive? If I had prem, I would have died. But still, I am alive and my pran is like an insect biting me. Being alive itself is just pain. So it is said, Premana Sobhava Jahan Premana Sambandha Saimani Krishna Mori Nahi Prema Gandha. When there's a real sambandha, a real relationship of love, then that devotee feels like I have no love at all. And if a devotee conversely has no bhakti at all, then he's thinking, I am very advanced. The pride is there. So it is said, Kripa Kripanugamini, that mercy follows the wretched ones. So if we think I am very qualified, I am very expert, I am very intelligent, then mercy will not come to us. But when we realize that if I am not seeing Krishna right now, directly face to face, it is because I have no bhakti and I am filled with offenses. Tabu jani aparada tohite prachur Krishna nama beach tahe na koreyanko. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Pad said, if when you chant the name Hare Krishna, that Krishna does not immediately appear to you, it's because of nama aparad. Not a few. Prachur, many offenses. So, am I committing offenses or not? Do you see Krishna? Okay, then the question has been answered. So Srila Vishnu Thakur is showing us, reminding us. One should think, alas, I am wasting my life, floating in the ocean of lust. What is this lust? Krishna said, Avritam jnanam etena jnanino nityavarna kama rupena kunteya duspurena analena cha. Kam, lust, is that which covers one's knowledge. that I am soul, the eternal servant of Krishna. So if we're not experiencing that I am Krishna's eternal servant, then this is calm. Don't think calm is only very gross, lusty things. Calm is the avrita, which does avrita jnana. Avritam jnana metena, by which we are not aware of our soul. This is due to calm. Avidya, ignorance. And so whatever we are doing, if we are doing anything, but we are not having the divine internal disclosure of the sweetness of Vrindavan, then we are being washed around in the material existence only due to offenses. Because Mahaprabhu has said, Eitadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi durdaiva mitrishamiha janinanara. My Lord, you are so kind that you allow us to easily approach you by your name. Chant your name and we're with you. Durdaiva mitrishamiha jan. But I am so offensive, so unlucky due to my offenses. I have no eagerness for chanting. So Srila Vishwanath Thakur is crying here from the core of his heart, really has praying. But this verse is also useful for conditioned souls like us in this world to follow the mood of Srila Vishwanath Thakur, because kripa anugamini. When someone accepts their own wretched and fallen position, then kripa, the mercy begins to follow that person. So now we come to the last verse. Vrinda-Ashtakam ya srinayat padeva Vrinda-Vana-Isha padabja bringa Sahabrabhya Vrinda-Vana-Nityavasam Tad-prema sevam labhate kritata. Vrinda-Ashtakam ya srinayat padeva, that person who will listen to this Vrinda-Ashtakam and who will recite this Vrinda-Ashtakam and who will become like a bumblebee at the lotus feet of Krishna, that person will attain eternal residence in Vrindavan, and Kritartha, their whole life will be successful because they will achieve the Prem Seva, loving service of Radha and Krishna. So it's an Astakam, means 8 verses. So 8 verses are complete, and this is the 9th verse. This is called the Falsruti. Falsruti means the description of the fowl, the fruit of Sruti, of hearing this prayer. What will be the fruit of hearing the prayer? Or one's whole life will become successful, and one will attain Prem Seva. Now, who is giving this guarantee? Srila Vishwanath Thakur. This is his guarantee. If you sing this prayer to Vrinda-Devi every day, then everything that I have advertised, you will get it. I am giving you the guarantee. This is the Falsruti verse. Now, what's important here to know is that when a person becomes a pure Vaishnava and they attain Krishna Prem, then all the qualities of Krishna, they're infused into that person, and one quality is called Satya Sankalpa. Satya Sankalpa means whatever they say becomes true. So because Srila Vishwanath Thakur is eternal associate of Radha Krishna, eternal associate of our 6 Goswamis and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's filled with prema, his words are Satya Sankalpa. So when Vishwanath Thakur gives you a guarantee that, if you recite this prayer, my prayer to Vrinda-Devi every day, you will attain Radha Krishna's eternal service in Vrindavan, then because he's Satya Sankalpa, that means Krishna will make it true. You know, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Kaunteya pratitanahi name bhaktya pranashyati. Krishna said, Arjun, declare it boldly that my devotee is never vanquished. So Krishna himself could have said, boldly I declare my devotee is never vanquished. But Krishna was thinking, some people, they don't believe me. Because my mother asked me, have you eaten dirt? And I said, Naham bhakshitabam ambe. Sarvai mityadin sina sina. Oh no, mother, I have not eaten dirt. But what all your friends told me, even your brother has said, they are all liars, mother. So sometimes people think Krishna, he will not tell the truth. But the devotees of Krishna, whatever a devotee will say, Krishna will never break. His own promise may be broken even, but he will make the words of his devotee true, 100%. So he said, Kaunteya pratijanahi name bhakta pranashati. Hey Arjun, you declare this, and then the whole world will accept it. So if Srila Vishnu Thakur has said, by singing this Vrinda-Devi-Ashtakam, you will attain Radha Krishna service, then Radha Krishna themselves will make those words become true for all of us. Srila Vishnu Thakur ki jai, Srimati Vrinda-Devi ki jai, Jayo Vrinda-Devi, Jayo Vrinda-Devi, Vrinda-Devi, Jayo 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 Vrinda-Devi, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Hare Saniwal ki jai, Jai Jai Sri Ram. Go Premanande.